Guys, back to you in the booth.
Dave, watching him in practice, he left the 2-8-10 3 shots in a row. And remember when we interviewed him, he said, for me, the key is to be able to stay firm and aggressive. Didn't look like that's possible now. Remember when he said he had to get soft and he made a mistake? It was a disaster. When your rev rate's that high and you're trying to throw the ball slower, a lot of bad can happen.
So Anthony Simonson starts this match on the left lane, where he had great success in the last match, and he leaves the 4-pin here.
Simonson's two-handed style is a little bit softer, both with speed and with rev rate, than Belmonte.
We're looking at a guy right here who could have another major in his pocket at 20 years old. He has one already, the USBC Masters.
Will this be the 7th consecutive major won by a player under the age of 25?
Or will 7 be the number for Jason Belmonte's major?
Yeah, great point.
By the way, it's not like Belmo needs a walker to get around. He's 33. You know what I'm saying? He's young. He's in shape. He's lost 22 pounds. He's opening with the timeless. And a little loft right there, and he'll mix them up. And Kimberly.
Thanks, guys. I'm with Connor. Connor, you know what? You had 2 great matches today, but then you got into that 3rd match. What went wrong for you?
The left lane started to go a little bit. I had to switch balls. I kind of gassed one on the right lane a little bit, and I accidentally overcorrected on the left lane and went high to the face. I was kind of forced into a ball change on the right lane to a little bit cleaner ball, and I just kind of lost that lane a little bit. And, you know, you give Simon enough time, he's going to throw a couple doubles together. So,
how tough was it going up against one of your good friends?
I actually think it's a little bit easier. I mean, the part that's tough about it is knowing how good he is. And, you know, like I said, you give him the opportunities, he's going to take them. So I wish him the best of luck against Belmonte.
All right, that's very kind of you. Thanks so much for your time. Guys?
In case you missed Extra Frame during the week, you've just seen how Jason Belmonte got the #1 seed, throwing that timeless, which, you know, normally you have a hand in developing something. Did Jason have 2 hands in developing that ball?
He
did. Just a thought. Throw that out there.
He was instrumental in the design and the development. And Jason Belmonte, just after I said how tough it was for him to get the ball around the corner, starts out with a double.
Oh, that got a hook.
Well, get out of there. No, I thought the messenger would clip the 10. He said immediately, look out, it's got a hook.
Strike from there.
Well, it's the double whammy. He makes a ball change, then says that one's got a hook. It does, and then he leaves a blowout 7-10.
So an early mistake for Anthony Simonson, and Belmonte's in off a double and just scattering pins everywhere. So there you see what Anthony Simonson is trying to do. Remember, he won at 19 last year in the USBC Masters when he beat Dan McClellan. He was the #1 seed in that event. That's a much better ball. Well, the 8-9 pins didn't stand a chance that time.
So important in big February to get off to a good start with the back-to-back-to-back majors. I mean, this can make or break your entire season. Right now, both Jason Belmonte and Anthony Simonson have a chance to get out to a huge lead by capturing the first major of the season.
Oh, he hates it. And he's probably relieved that that's all there was.
He now loves it.
Yeah, I guess so. But the look on his face, he walked away from that, just peeked over his shoulder just to see what he was going to be left with, and he's got something he can handle.
Pattern is much tighter down lane than it was for Belmonte all week long, and he flamed that one, and he knew it as soon as he let go of it. Fortunate to only leave the 2-pin.
Interesting conversation with him, and we touched on it a little bit earlier in the show. 3-time player of the year going into this season. E.J. Tackett now owns that title, and Belmo told us one of the reasons he thinks he struggled a bit on television last year was that 4th player of the year, which would have been unprecedented in PBA history, really weighed on him anytime he got to where he could see a title.
He was looking at the big prize instead of the little prize. He was looking at the prize at the end of the tunnel and lost focus at the job of hand. At hand.
There you go. 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Well, he hasn't gone flush yet, but he's got 3 out of 4 strikes. Belmonte made the top 5 in 16 events since his last win and never came away with a victory. But there's a small victory in and of itself, tripping the 7 late.
Yeah, Belmonte had said, and he talked a little bit earlier at the top of the show with Kimberly, he's kind of flushing 2016. It's a new year. And Simonson with a very similar looking strike. That one also not flush, and Anthony Simonson refuses to let Belmo dictate everything in this match.
Simonson changing to an alpha crux on the right lane, but he's staying with the same ball on the left. Right now, looking to get back into this, he can cut Belmonte's lead to just 2. Yep.
Through the nose.
Looked like the follow-through indicated.
Add another tally to the time that I should have stopped this week.
Looked like the follow-through indicated the ball was going to be left.
Well, he kicking himself for not stopping.
Watch the follow-through here. See how that hand opened and tried to fan it right?
Needed to tap in and get Connor Pickford to shoot that. Pickford made it earlier today.
Tap in?
Yep, in the opening match. It's like tag team doubles and wrestling. But now Belmonte has the door open at plus 30. You know, you talked about it's been so long, but of any active player, Jason Belmonte still has the 3rd best television winning percentage, nearly 62%. Only Tommy Jones and Sean Rash, Sean is here today, I think TJ is too, have a better percentage. And again, you're right, he hasn't been burying in the pocket, but the pins are taking a beating.
Well, when you have a rev rate of over 600 and you throw it 18 miles an hour, I mean, you're going to do this to pins. My thing right now is he hasn't gone flush yet.
Right.
He hasn't been close to being flush yet. And if this continues, he won't have to go flush yet.
In 2009, he was the PBA player and PBA Rookie of the Year. That's only been done 4 other times. That time he didn't go flush
Just
either.
a little quick. Just a pinch quick.
Now, this is what I was waiting for to happen. Unfortunately, with every shot being light, it was just a matter of time before he threw in too hard. He actually did that in the 3rd frame and got away with it.
Going for it all here, and he can't quite get it. So how does he correct that inability to hit the flush that you're looking for?
It's speed. And remember, he told us Friday night, he told us yesterday that it's tougher for him to gear down. It's tougher for him to get softer.
So the lead shrinks to 26.
Simonson, I think it's much easier for him to control his speed in terms of getting softer. I think he struggles when he has to throw it harder, which is easier for Belmonte.
That's a good looker right there. 7 pin, the last to fall.
Again, another opportunity for Simonson to get back in it. He got the lead to 16 with a strike here in the 7th. This is how he gets his ball to Reed Davis. It's just softer speed. Keep in mind, he doesn't have near the rev rate as Belmonte. Big shot here on the left lane now. Can he overcome that bad shot in the 5th in the big split and open frame? He was working on a double, so not only is it an open, but he lost count as well.
There's flush.
You can see that ball looked like it was right of target, and it finished dead flush into the pocket.
So throws it right back at Jason Belmonte. A little shade thrown Belmo's way.
Next 2 shots, very telling in this title match for Belmonte.
Gotta hurry.
Again, another ball that was just late getting to the 1-3. And even with all his power, he can't get that soft 10 out. This was the one thing that was going to slow Belmonte down. Lack of friction or the pattern becoming very speed sensitive. Now keep in mind it was speed sensitive all week, but somehow it didn't really affect him. He started in at about 4th arrow from the get-go at the start of every qualifying block, and he just moved left from there and then just started lofting it. He never had a problem with down lane reaction.
Jason is 3-5 in TV finals as the top seed. He was in 1 last year in Detroit. Sean Rash beat him in a very low-scoring final, 178-161 in the PBA Detroit Open. That might be what he needed. Big smile there from Belmo.
You know, I'm not sure how this affects Jason Belmonte's psyche, but I know for me, as a former player, I would be trying to figure out a way to get the ball to go flush, because in 8 shots, he hasn't gotten near flush, and he still has a 16-pin lead.
Well, that would be my point where I would kind of argue the other side, but he's still winning. If you tinker too much, right?
Yeah, but it's smoke and mirrors right now.
Yeah, that's true. Simonson through the face. Again, you could tell the telltale sign of standing up quickly. And that sleeper back there makes it a little bit tougher.
Oh, it completely changes the complexion of this spare. You throw the 3-6-10 up, not that big a deal. You put the 9-pin behind it, all of a sudden it becomes a real bugger.
Got it. Beautiful.
He got up there and threw it as hard as he could, and was fortunate to carry the back pin, the 9-pin. But that was a golden opportunity for Simonson to win his second major. Now down by 20, 2 frames to go. No matter what, his max score is 205. Belmonte can still shoot 235.
Well, there's one way to get to that max score of 205 with a foundation strike in the 9th.
If Belmonte goes spare, strike, spare, we have the possibility of a tie.
And that would be a 1-ball roll-off for a major championship. This is the beginning of big February on the tour. We've got a major next week in Oklahoma, and the week after that, the USBC Masters from Las Vegas. 3 championships, 3 time zones. There's closer to flush than for a blink of an eye. The 7-10 was standing, and they got knocked down.
Well, that shot looked very unusual for me as it came out of Belmonte's hand. Watch the follow-through. Follow-through was short and dead left, and that was an attempt to get his bowling ball to read sooner. Great pin action. A great result. Jason Belmonte is 1 mark away from capturing his 7th major title.
And quieting critics who wondered if he was slipping. Big loft. Big turn.
Yes!
Big win!
Yes! Amazing. He never went dead flush, 1 shot, and he's going to win. Any questions about Jason Belmonte's struggles or what's wrong with Belmo? Like I said at the top of the show, nothing. Great champions always find a way to get it done, and that's exactly what Belmonte did.
Well, I do wonder about the attitude he took in this year, not worrying about being player of the year and thinking, you know what, I can maybe be player of the year this year. Well, leave a little behind there, but it doesn't matter. Jason Belmonte is your champion.
Number 7, guys. Number 7. Thank you, Columbus. Thank you.
And for Anthony Simonson at just 20 years old, you know he'll be back. Already a major champion. And was close and lost to the man many believe was the world's best bowler, Jason Belmonte. What a satisfying, I don't know.
Everybody back home for waking up early. I love you so much, everybody. Coming home a winner.
A little shaving cream, which Belmonte doesn't use that often.
Thank you, Barbasol. Thank you, PBA. Thank you, Storm. High Five, Ultimate Inserts, Dexter. Everyone that's been a
Congratulations
part
to
of this.
a
Thank
great
you so
champion.
much.
Jason Belmonte has returned to the winner's circle. It was only 2 years. It might have felt to him like 20. But professional bowling has been served notice that Jason Belmonte has returned and has returned as a major champion.
Thank you.
His 7th. Belmonte never threw a flush strike. Didn't have to.
I'd give you a
Outlasting
hug and a kiss,
Anthony
but I don't know
Simonson.
if I want.
Don't get any shaving cream on the commissioner.
Thanks.
The Barbasol PBA Players Championship is brought to you by Barbasol. New Barbasol premium disposable razors with close shave technology. America's leader for a close, comfortable shave. By Ebonite. Bowl it forward. By the United States Bowling Congress, creating competitive opportunities at all levels as we build a future for the sport. Visit bowl.com for more. And by Rotogrip, built for those who take bowling seriously. Don't just play the game, own it. He is back as a champion. Jason Belmonte, 221 to 204 over Anthony Simonson. And Jason Belmonte picks up a 7th major championship here in Columbus at the Barbasol PBA Players Championship. Meantime, my partner Randy Peterson is standing by with Anthony Simonson.
Performance today, but it looked like you lost your ball reaction in the title match against Jason. What happened?
They started to get a little funky. I didn't make the best of shots. There's a couple shots I should have stepped back. It's kind of been a problem throughout the...
Martin Larson defeated his brother Darren Tang, defeated Alex Hoskins, but can he beat this guy?
And Belmonte is going to start on the left, which makes Michael Tang finish on the left.
Well, he didn't do too badly on the left when he finished. However, Belmonte starts off as you would expect. So used to the spotlight.
Yeah, he's dancing with the one he brought. Actually, Belmonte used a combination of urethane and reactive resin throughout the week, but when he got into match play, it was all straight urethane for Jason Belmonte.
So you've got somebody who's not a professional, does not have not a PBA member, against the top player in the world. However, if you're feeling good about your game right now, maybe it doesn't matter who the other guy is.
The big question mark is how Michael handles the pressure and if Jason Belmonte has a nice look on the right lane.
And it's our buddy Mike Kaufman, Director of Bowling Operations for all of Boyd Gaming. Well, I'll ask you a question about the lanes in Belmo when he comes back up, so I'll hold you to that.
I just want to say thanks to Mike Kaufman. He's a good friend of mine and just one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Thanks for everything, Mike.
Again, lofting on that left wing. I don't know, one of those pins may never recover.
How old did you say he was?
I believe Michael is listed here at 21.
Is that a typo?
Or did you mean Mike Kaufman?
No, Michael Tang.
Michael Tang?
Yeah.
Yes, 21.
Yeah,
he sure doesn't bowl like it, does he?
No, you don't do stuff like that at age 21.
Well, Belmo at age 33 looking for an 8th major championship. And he knows what he has to do. I mean, he's been keeping an eye on this thing. He realizes he's walking into a hornet's nest right now, and he's prepared.
Well, his job is to maintain pace with Michael Tang, keep the pressure on, and see how the youngster responds.
The question is, how have the lanes broken down for Belmo's game?
I think that the more they break down, as you take a look at his arsenal, it's another pitch black, the more they break down, the more it favors Jason Belmonte.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
He got the messenger. There were about 3 splits that were broken up that time by some friendly messengers.
This is just filthy. I mean, title match, you don't want to fall behind. The 410 is standing. He catches that break. Man, it was just like he heard Maury say, "You are not the father."
Well, nothing has rattled Michael Tang today. Seven pin's going to stay.
And that's going to be the only thing that will rattle him if he starts to experience some unfriendly carry. Especially if he starts falling farther and farther behind.
That's a good point. I mean, when Belmo comes back up, he could really ramp up the heat.
This is a good shot. I mean, this strikes 8 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times. But right now he's looking at falling a little behind here early through 3 frames. He hasn't trailed by a whole lot.
I was about to ask, and I'll
Throughout the
ask
entire
our scorekeeper,
day.
Mike, has he trailed at all today? I don't think so. No, Mike Edwards, our scorekeeper, telling us that we don't think Mike has trailed at all today. And remember, he was in our opening match.
Has never trailed.
Yeah, that's what we thought. Kimberly Pressler standing by with Alex Hoskins. Kimberly.
Thanks, guys. So, Alex, you played well. You didn't have any open frames, but you really needed that strike in the 10th. When you threw it, did you think you had it?
I thought it was close. I did what I wanted to do out here. I made 10 great shots, and pins just didn't fall my way this day.
Well, you made it to a major show. It's your first time out here, and when you look back on this, what is this experience like for you?
It's a dream come true. Ever since I was a little kid, I just always wanted to be here. I hope I get to do it again sometime.
We hope you are, too. Good job today for making it this far.
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah, Alex, our congratulations and a hearty salute from this group here for a fantastic show.
Yep, well done.
Meantime, Tang bouncing right back from a bad break. You see Jason Belmonte's path. He had to take down his good friend Bill O'Neill. And, of course, he and Hoskins dueled in the battle for the top seed.
That match there, Machuga leaves a 10-pin in the 10th frame of the last game.
Well, there's a lot more in that relationship. That has been covered in bowling blogs, and that's something there for years. Mike Machuga not necessarily walking around in Jason Belmonte T-shirts. So coming up, the world...
That was really good.
Okay, I'm glad you're happy.
That was good.
The World Bowling Tour Finals are coming up right after our show. I mean, right after the show. 3 of the top women in the world, 3 of the top men in the world. Martin Larson is sticking around. He's going to pull a double header today, as we are. That'll be immediately following our show right here from New Orleans. Apologize for the two of us laughing here, but there is beef between those two, but that's for another day. Right now, Belmonte's got beef with the pins. I see. That is perfect through 5.
Yes, beautiful execution here on this shot. Remember that great break that he got in the 3rd frame, and that's ultimately the difference thus far. Instead of double, spare, double, it's 5-bagger.
Well, Tang has had one bad frame, and that was a 9 spare, and he's down 31. Messenger just shot right across, but no luck there. And this is the kind of match where a single pin can hang you. And you see Michael and Darren's mom. We had a chance to talk with her. Kimberly did, mom and dad. Imagine the relief of the two sons match is over, but all of a sudden your youngest is battling the top bowler in the world. And Michael Tang really hasn't done anything wrong, and he's down by 31 pins.
Yeah, that's a great point. He hasn't. He's made 5 really, really nice shots. And again, the difference thus far halfway through the title match is pin carry.
Yes, Belmonte has carried all of his. Tang with a big loft on that. He is going to get a messenger friendly this time. He's 3 for 3 on that left-hand lane.
Well, I'm not even sure I'd call that a break because it was such a good shot. Messenger comes over. Actually, I think there was a little insurance here. Yeah, the 6-pin's kind of helping the head pin take the 10 out. But, you know, the bottom line is he's still only at 209 and Belmonte's in the 230s. Can Belmonte continue the string and impose his will on young Michael Tang?
Well, there could be an answer for you right there. These pins taking a brutal beating from Belmonte, who's looking for a 4th Masters championship. Anthony Simonson broke the string of 3 straight last year. You see Belmo, what he's done is the top seed in stepladder finals, and he was the #1 seed 2 weeks ago in Columbus, Ohio at the Players Championship, the Barbasol Players Championship. He won that. Finished 7th a week ago in Shawnee, Oklahoma. You know, is an attitude I have to admit I like. You know, when we talk a little bit with him, we get a chance to say, you know, I don't fly halfway around the world to finish 2nd.
Yeah.
And it can also be summed up by you ain't first, you're last.
Thanks, Ricky Bobby.
Anytime. Yes, sir! 7 in a row for Belmo.
This is with the urethane bowling ball. Of course, when your rev rate's about 650, you can probably throw a marble down there and do that. Pretty impressive. And just to let the folks know, we misspoke a little bit ago when we said Michael Tang never trailed in a match.
Yes.
And he didn't. Come on. I thought that he was trailing Alex Hoskins, but as it turns out, he wasn't.
Okay, so we were right the first time.
We were right the first time.
Well, again, all Tang has done is leave single pins, and you see he's down 51 here in the 7th. It's unbelievable. And that's because Belmo hasn't missed yet. And Jason could be chasing something else here. And Tang staring down that approach a little bit, might have had a problem. But he's got probably bigger issues to deal with right now, as he has definitely been knocked to the deck by the force of Jason Belmonte. I asked you at the start of the show, Randy, are we about to see a second wave of Belmonte after not winning in 2016, even though he had a pretty solid year, made several television shows, just didn't win, and we may have gotten a hint 2 weeks ago.
I don't think there's any question about it. He's a different guy now. He's refocused and looking to make history here by winning his 4th Masters. It's never been done before. Well, he made history here when he won 3 in a row. That had never been done before. And
it'd be major win number 8 also for Jason. Remember, he's only 33 years old. He's in great shape. Takes care of himself as best he can. It's difficult, he says, when he's traveling. But when he's home in Australia, he certainly works hard on that. A good spare there for Tang, but spares just aren't going to do it here. This is our hammer tough spare replay, Randy, and sometimes you see players will chop this.
it's a lot harder when the 8 pin's behind it, but Michael Tang, I think that's the first time he shot 3-pin cluster all day long. He's pretty much lived in the pocket, but bad carry in the 3rd, 5th, and 7th, along with the front 7 for this man, his undoing.
Oh, 7-pin. Keeping Belmonte from a perfect game.
That's what I think is really amazing about what he does is we see him lofting the left gutter a lot, really opening up the lane, but when he can go straight with urethane like he's doing today, it's a pretty scary combination.
And Jason's going to take a re-rack, which gives us graciously a chance to show you this. And you see Belmonte is about to tie Walter Ray and Mike Albee. 2 back of PDW and Earl Anthony. And Norm Duke sitting there also with Belmo at 7. And Norm still incredibly competitive. Here you see the full score, commanding lead. Carry it does, Jason. Get used to that shot there because you're going to see it again, and the next time you do, you're going to see Jason Belmonte holding that trophy. But I tell you what, you've also seen the unveiling of perhaps another star in bowling in Michael Tang, a USBC intercollegiate singles champion. He's going to finish up college at San Jose State. I hope he decides to turn pro, and we see him out here all the time.
He has a bright future, an incredible talent, but he just got the full wrath of Jason Belmonte.
We have more bowling coming up because we're doing something that has not been done before. Live doubleheader action, the World Bowling Tour Finals. You'll see Liz Johnson, Danielle McEwen, Martin Larson, among others, Anthony Simonson, Angie Ramirez-Perea, Marshall Kent. Well, we've got real talent on that show, and we're going to be using the classic World Bowling scoring format. So there he is. He has done it again. Jason Belmonte is your champion. His 8th major, his 14th career tour title, his 2nd major this month.
We've got a real player of the year race now with E.J. Tackett winning the Tournament of Champions in Japan Cup and then Belmonte doing it. This is a 2-horse race.
And it's February. So big February. Thy name is Jason Belmonte. He's going to put the capper on this, and then a very gratifying trophy walk for Belmo.
I mean, he doesn't just win. I mean, he could win by 66 pins, make it 67 pins if he strikes out.
Well, Michael Tang has no reason to hang his head.
No, he bowled great.
And he was fantastic today. But for Jason Belmonte. Randy, you've been in the position to take those victory lap shots. What's it like?
Well, it's there's no better feeling, I can tell you that, but it seems like it goes by so fast. You know, the only time you really get to enjoy it is when you go back home and you watch it on DVR. Of course, back then we had to watch videotapes.
I was going to say, I hope somebody erased it and put Golden Girls on or something.
Yeah, right. Nice.
So there you go. At the top, Jason Belmonte. Look, he just pulled that one out of the audience and he threw a strike with it. A 279, a dominant performance by the top player in the world, Jason Belmonte. Another major for Belmonte, number 8, a 14th title, and he is the master of professional bowling, Jason Belmonte. The USBC Masters is brought to you by the United States Bowling Congress, creating competitive opportunities at all levels as we build a future for the sport. Visit bowl.com for more. By Motive Bowling, get motivated. By Grand Casino Hotel and Resort, the Oklahoma City area's premier casino resort experience. And by Track Bowling, make the smart move. On a day when we are making television bowling history, we saw television bowling history. Bowling history with Jason Belmonte winning the USBC Masters for an unprecedented 4th time, defeating Michael Tang. And Belmo is standing by with Kimberly.
Thanks, guys. I'm Lane Side for the trophy presentation, and I'm joined by Chad Murphy, the executive director of the USBC, and Frank Wilkinson, who's going to actually give him the trophy.
Congratulations, awesome bowling.
Cheers.
Tk you guys so much.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you.
Jason, they talked about at the top of the show and whether or not we were going to see the Jason Belmonte who dominates everything, and I'm pretty sure we saw that today. You started off with the front 7 and earned yourself the 4th Masters. You're the only person to ever do it. What's that mean to you?
I don't know what it means to me. I'm still trying to kind of calculate everything that's happened so far. I'm super proud, really, really happy. To my family, Kimberly, Aria, Hugo, Sylvie, who woke up early this morning to watch me. I love you. Thank you. It's ridiculous, Kimberly. Like, there's no way I ever thought this was going to be possible, but I'm going to hold on. I love this tournament. Can I just say I love this tournament?
You can.
I love it a lot.
All right, well, congratulations to you. Go ahead. It's all you.
Well, Belmo, it loves you back. For the 4th time, Jason Belmonte is the champion of the USBC Masters. 4 times in 5 years over a spirited opponent in Michael Tang, who had to defeat his brother Darren, among others, to get to the championship match. Now, you know what's coming up? Good news for you. More bowling. The top 3 men and women from qualifying events around the globe in the World Bowling Tour Finals coming up in seconds. Right here at the Orleans Bowling Center and the Orleans Hotel and Casino. We thank you for watching. Don't go anywhere. 336 more than Belmo, and he struck almost 70% of the time. But all of that doesn't mean a thing to Belmo as we come down to 1 match for the title.
Right now, folks, you're in for a treat because these are the 2 strongest strike balls on the PBA Tour. Jesper Svensson, the highest rev rate out here, followed by this man, Belmonte. EJ Tackett not far behind from that in terms of the power category, but both players throwing urethane, and the National Bowling Stadium will probably have to replace the pins here on lanes 25 and 26 after these guys are done.
And starting off on the left lane that he finished on, Belmo gets it going with a strike. Jesper Svensson won the Cheetah just a week ago. A brilliant performance and a powerful performance by Jesper Svensson, and an emotional one as he dedicated it to a lost friend in Sweden. Through the nose, and early trouble for the Swede. he's going to have to recover very quickly. The only sliver of good news is it's the first frame.
Yep.
So he'll take his meds and move on to the second frame, and that leads us to our hammer tough spare replay.
Yeah, it's like trying to make the big four without the 7-pin being there. So much traffic on the left side of the lane. Matt Sanders throwing urethane in game 1, followed by Simonelli's 2 games and his high rev rate throwing reactive.
Well, there you go. That's the Jesper Svensson we are well aware of.
Great athletes these days on the PBA Tour, very colorful. You see Jesper Svensson, he's got tattoos going up and down his left arm. Jason Belmonte, this guy is so recognizable, his passport doesn't even need a picture. They brought the wow factor back to our sport with their two-handed styles.
And he just mixed them all up right there. The 4-time SP Award winner, including the last 3. Belmo picks up another strike. Jason is also one of 5 players to be a player and rookie of the year in his career. Chris Barnes, Tommy Jones, E.J. Tackett, and Mike Albee have done that. And that is the real headline here if Belmo can pull this off. Think of the people who have preceded him in the history of this game in 60 years.
I think the other great stat on Belmonte is the fact that he's got 15 titles. 8 of them are majors. And when you think back to Earl Anthony, Walter Ray, Pete Weber, we're talking about players that have 40+ titles.
Yes! And he is immediately putting Jesper Svensson in a hole.
Well, that's some pretty good pin action there.
So here's what's happened in prior World Series shows. I hope you had a chance to see Liz Johnson become the 2nd woman ever to win on the PBA Tour. The rookie, or the television rookie, Richie Teese, and then Svensson and the Cheetah, and Tackett and the Scorpion. No words. No words.
Yeah.
Kimberly Pressler is standing by. Kimberly.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined by Ryan Simonelli. So, Ryan, your reaction at the end of that roll-off spoke volumes, but you also said, I thought it was good. So what happened?
Yeah, we actually checked the shot tracker, and rev rate was on, ball speed was on. It was 0.4 boards right. I would throw that shot 100 more times. I can't believe it didn't hook.
Thank you so much for taking the time and speaking with me.
Ryan, thank you. I know that's not an interview you wanted to do, but we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to Kimberly Svensson, working a double.
This guy's so nasty, he could scare the pants back on you. I mean, that is just pure filth going through the pins. It's a rev rate approaching 700, thrown down the lane at about 19 miles an hour.
Oh, quiet 10 for the Golden Shoe one.
Boy, take a picture of that. That's almost like a Bigfoot sighting when you see Jason Belmonte leave a soft 10. Kind of falls off of this one a little bit. The direction is good, but just not enough oomph into the pocket to have the 6 come off the wall and kick the 10 out.
So Belmo in qualifying, not perfect on these 10 pin. And he has to have it. He has it. A little sigh of relief.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, last game and watching him through his first 4 frames, I kind of wrote him off. I thought Simonelli's ball reaction was just so much better. And then all of a sudden, Belmonte found it, got comfortable, made shots, and here he is in the title match.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to have that happen very often.
Well, he's holding his finger insert that came out of his I believe it's his middle finger. So he'll look for some super glue and glue that grip back in. And see if we can see it on his, yep, there it is. Is it his ring finger or his middle finger? I can't tell.
Getting off of that.
That's a quick fix.
Easy fix.
That's fine.
Meantime, Jesper looking for 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Oh. And one solitary pin just laying there unconscious when it was over with.
I'm not sure I've ever seen the 4 take out the 7 that fast, ever.
So Jesper, pitch black.
Yeah, he's got about 8 of them. Drilled a little bit different, each one different surfaces.
Through 5 for the championship, a major, and we're even.
It's that reoccurring theme again.
It's as if he took a knife and just chopped them in half like you're slicing open a cantaloupe or a grapefruit.
I just love the demeanor, the attitude, the personality after throwing this. It's just the polar opposite of what his bowling ball does when it goes through the pins. Just so casual. All right, there's another strike. Now, that's externally. Internally, you know this guy's jacked up as much as anyone.
Now Belmo down 10. And a little trouble here.
Bad shot, got it right.
2-8.
Stay behind it, buddy.
What does he mean there?
Got to stay behind it to make it read, to make it roll earlier. When your hand gets on the side of the ball, there's more side rotation. It goes longer and then has a little bit more change of direction. Most of the players today on the PBA Tour like to get their balls to read the pattern sooner, so it's smoother off the end of the pattern, especially when you're throwing urethane.
A lot of deep breaths on this show today. A lot at stake here. $60,000 first place check, major championship. Belmonte looking for even firmer place in bowling history than he already has. A 9th major, 16th title. Svensson looking for a 2nd major and a 7th and 8th title at 22 years old.
That looks good. Wow. Hand up the back, the ball reads, finishes perfectly in the 1-3.
Well, Jesper knows that Belmonte's not going to fade. You can't ever assume that.
But you know what? Jesper is perfect against Belmonte on television. Beat him twice at the main event in Orlando. Averaged just I think a little over 260 at him.
Well, he has not won a singles title in 2017. So it'd be a way to finish out your year. Oh, that was just a touch high.
Maybe you could get some help one time.
So the lead 9 for Jesper. Well, not surprisingly, we're going to go down to the final 3 frames with another close match. Look at the maxes. 1 pin difference. And don't be surprised if it comes down to that. You have to expect at this point, the way things have gone today, and with these 2, that the 10th frame will be 100% drama. Looks a little surprised.
That ball picked up a little early, and he goes high once again. And this match is getting very interesting with Belmonte working on a strike in the 7th.
So back-to-back conversions for Jesper. So Belmo down by only 8 pins here in the 8th frame. As you see, his place in history is secure already. At 34, he's ahead of everybody. 8 majors, Albee did it at 38, Walter Ray at 50, Earl won at 46, his 10th, and Pete Weber, of course, that memorable win when he was 50, major number 10. Belmo going for number 9, trailing by 8.
Half 10 in the 4th, 2-8 in the 6th on this right lane.
And that's an odd leave.
Damn it, again.
You don't see the 4-8 very often for a right-hander. This is choppable now. Not that tough to chop the 4 off the 8. He's got to finish the match on this right lane as well. He has not struck on it in the last 3 shots. Svensson in command.
Still hoping that 2-pin would finish those others off, but it did not. Gonna go straight at it and got it.
Big shot coming up here in the 9th. Belmonte needs to set up the 10th frame for him. A strike here in the 9th. He can shoot 239. Svensson at 227, but his max score 247. Remember the last 2 shots for Jesper, also a bit high, going 6-pin, 6-pin back to back.
Sharp. Yes, he loves that left lane.
Well, he's got to make an adjustment on the right lane, that's for sure, to have any chance of winning this match. But Svensson can control his own destiny. Think about this stat. At the young age of 22, if Jesper Svensson strikes out, he will be Hall of Fame eligible.
At 22.
8 titles, 2 majors.
Isn't that something? Oh, very light. And a 5 left behind. Wait a minute. Now the 7 on the lead.
Belmonte can strike out and win this.
Which he figured out about 1 blink of an eye after he saw this.
Well, that's the adjustment off of the ball reading a little bit early and going 6-pin. And we talked about it the entire telecast. It's amazing. 5-bagger and then all of a sudden losing the pocket. And that's how quickly the lanes can transition.
Well, we promised you 10th frame drama, and we have it. Svensson to strike out, 236. And we force Belmonte to strike in the 10th. Oh my heavens, I thought that was a good looking shot. And he leaves a very quiet 7-pin with a 4 resting on it. So he won't get that 236.
Well, it looks like the lanes and the oil pattern have pushed him a little bit farther in than he wanted to be, and that affected the pin carry on that shot. And again, another rare sighting of a player with that much power leaving a weak 7. Missed 5 of these throughout the event.
We'll take care of it there.
Belmonte needs the first hit and counts.
But it'll be on the right lane where he has not had the success he's had on the left. In fact, his last strike on the right lane was in the 2nd frame. The power we're used to seeing.
Every time. All right.
If Belmonte does not strike on this ball, Jesper Svensson wins his 2nd major.
If he does strike,
Belmonte becomes bowling Bowling's version of immortality, the only player to ever win 3 majors in a year.
Pretty simple. Strike and 9. He had to have it, and he got it. But it's not over yet. He needs 9. And if he gets 8.
7 spare works, 8 spare works, 9. It's done.
Done.
9 on this ball. It's over. I like his chances.
So much for the right lane giving him trouble. When he had to have it, it was there.
Amazing guy.
You have just watched professional bowling history. Jason Belmonte is the first player ever to win 3 championships, 3 major championships in the same year. His 9th major. He is now 1 back of tying Pete Weber and Earl Anthony. Uncanny, unstoppable, and unbeatable. Jason Belmonte is your PBA World Champion. We'll be back. Present him with a trophy right after this.
Thank you so much.
The Geico World Series of Bowling PBA World Championship is brought to you by Go Bowling. Promotional offers, tips to improve your game, news, or to locate a bowling center near you, log on to GoBowling.com. By Reno Tahoe. For your next vacation getaway, go to visitRenoTahoe.com. By the United States Bowling Congress, creating competitive opportunities at all levels. As we build a future for the sport, visit bowl.com for more. And by PBA Bowling Challenge. Bowl against your friends or the PBA pros. Download the free app today. In bowling, you literally hold your future in your hands. And Jason Belmonte, with that shot, became number 3 all-time in majors with 9 and the only player in PBA history to capture 3 majors in the same year. There we have updated the numbers. Now, 1 to catch Pete and Earl. Now, standing by with Commissioner Tom Clark and Jason Belmonte is Kimberly Pressler.
Thanks, Dave. Tom Clark, please do the honors of the trophy presentation.
Thanks, Kimberly. That was the most exciting World Series of bowling ever, and it's won by perhaps the most exciting bowler of all time. Jason, congratulations. I know you wanted this one. On behalf of the PBA, it's the Earl Anthony Trophy as the PBA World Champion. Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you.
Jason, as you hold that trophy, I don't know if you know this or not, but you made history today. You are officially the only person ever in PBA history to win 3 majors in 1 year. How does it feel to make history?
It feels incredible. Kimberly, I don't know what to say. I'm just extremely blessed to be able to do what I love every single day of my life. I mean, I'm going to do this until I'm dead. There's nothing going to stop me from bowling. And to win these trophies along the way is really just a bonus. So I am very honoured, though, to be the only person to have done it 3 majors in 1 year. It's very cool.
Well, it appears that you have locked up Player of the Year as well with this win. Thoughts on that?
I actually haven't had a chance to really digest that thought. I'm really just kind of sinking in the moment of winning this trophy. But I think tomorrow when I calm down a little bit, I'll start thinking about those awards as well.
Well, congratulations. You've earned this on your 9th major win.
Here's a common sight the last few years on the PBA Tour. Jason Belmonte, the last one standing, holding the trophy as he has made bowling history, capturing major number 9. Coming up next week, 1 o'clock Eastern Sunday, the World Bowling Tour Finals on ESPN. For my partners, Kimberly Pressler and Randy Peterson, and our great ESPN crew, we thank you for watching. You saw professional bowling history made today by Jason Belmonte.
Jacob has never won a major, does have 5 titles, including 1 this season. Jason's already won twice this campaign, including a major. Butcher fan in attendance. Like that t-shirt, by the way. Available over on PBA.com. Handshake between the two.
Butcher has never won a major, but he's led back-to-back U.S. Opens, only to finish second. Both times, once in Wichita, Kansas, and the other in Liverpool, New York.
Different buzz in the crowd for the title match.
Man, that was like a wild dingo just running down the lane and attacking 10 pins.
He's calm. The crowd is ready to explode. Let's see what Buttroff has.
Interesting start. Now, Jason Belmonte chose to finish on the right lane. Last game, Buttroff only struck once on the right lane. Jacob gets to finish this match on the left lane. Good cover.
It's the first one I made all week.
That is your no-brainer, hammer tough spare replay.
Shooting the left-handed bucket, you can either throw it straight and hard at the 3-pin, or you can curve it. Jakey curves it and covers it nicely.
That was an exhale moment there. Start off with an open frame against the best on the planet. You've dug yourself an early hole. Still can't get a strike.
All right, good cover. Now let's see what Belmonte does on the right lane. The tricky lane for the right-handers is Bill O'Neill had just a little bit of trouble getting the 10 out, which eventually cost him his match against Jacob. Billy bowled a great game, 226, but he needed that first strike in the 10th.
Opening jacks here in your title match. This place goes deathly silent and then erupts.
You must fear my power, 10-pin.
As my good friend and college basketball analyst Steve Lavin likes to say on numerous great plays, that sums it up. You are watching one of the legends in his absolute prime. Three in a row. Remember, should Belmo roll a 300, a $1 million bonus check courtesy of Fox and the PBA goes into his bank account.
Break there. Remember, he left that 5-6 split where he had to respot the 5, and this time he trips the 5-6 out for his first strike of the title match. Watch it. 5-6 is up. 6 gets
the tap on the shoulder and falls forward.
See his numbers in TV title matches. Leaves the 7.
That soft 7 on the left lane for Jacob Buttroff, failing to double up.
Second time it's left standing there on the left lane. So Belmo perfect through 3. Back in Australia at Nashdale Public School. Arya, Hugo, and the whole class watching.
You guys are awesome.
Jason obviously seeing that image on the large screen right above him. What kind of cheering you think they're doing in Australia right now, huh?
They're going crazy.
As they should.
Wow.
There goes $1 million.
That was pretty good, too. Hard to believe with that much power that you could leave a flat 10, but Belmonte does it on this shot. I'm kind of impressed that he was able to pry it off that well after seeing the image of his children at the school watching. 20-pin lead after 4, Rob.
And he goes through his normal routine.
You couldn't have asked for a better title match. Jacob Buttroff, who started off the season red hot, then Jason Belmonte and what he's done in the majors, lefty versus righty, as he uses his high road pearl and looking for his 4th strike. What do you think, Rob? Any good?
You're watching the best, and it's not often you get to say that in sporting.
Yeah.
You know, in the NFL, we've been fortunate. You're watching Tom Brady. Everybody's calling him the GOAT.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods, not too long ago. We got to see it. Michael Jordan, going back further, we got to see it. You are seeing it right now playing out in front of your eyes in Jason Belmonte. He can max at a 2.79. Buttroff. Goody.
Well, he's hanging in there, and he could cut Belmonte's lead to 10 with a strike here in the 6th and get right back in this. He's going to take a re-rack on the left lane. This match far from over.
Left lane has been 9 spare, 9 spare, having left a 7-pin both of those times. What pin is standing again?
To the left.
He's going to look back at the last couple of shots on this lane, and if it is indeed his undoing, he's going to say, maybe I should have trusted it a little bit more to the left so it would hook up a little bit harder and get that soft 7 out.
Oh, no. It comes back.
Seen it all year, and right now, a single pin whiff couldn't have happened at a worse time for Jacob Buttroff.
He's got to collect himself because Jace is on the verge of starting to run away with this one.
And this is where Jason Belmonte is looking to go bang, bang, 6th and 7th.
As he runs towards history.
Same thing we saw with Bill O'Neill on that right lane. It pushes just a little bit longer down the lane before it comes around the corner. Gets behind the head pin and leaves that soft 10. Now, you don't want to duplicate what Buttriff did. Concentrate, focus, make the 10-pin, move on.
And he does.
This is where you cannot start looking ahead. You have to stay in the moment and trust your technique, trust your focus, trust your routine. Routine is what will always save you and save you from the nerves.
And he's going through his pre-shot routine. And this place just shuts down.
Boom goes the dynamite.
That was glorious.
He can throw urethane. He can hook the entire lane. He can loft it halfway down the lane. He can throw it straight up first arrow. He can do just about anything you have to do to get to the pocket. And then when you add that much speed and power, well, good shot, Jakey. Come on, make it a game. He's got to figure out a way to strike on the left lane.
3 strikes in this title match, but all 3 have come on the right lane. He now shifts his business to the left. Last time he was there, he missed the 7-pin. An open frame in the 6th. Here he is to start the 8th, down 32. Jason Belmonte just 3 frames away from his historic 11th major title.
All right. 22-pin lead.
I'm not sure he was buying that one at release. He went down almost to all 4s.
Keep digging.
But finally gets that elusive strike on the left lane. Jason Belmonte, again, 10 major titles. So he's got a pair there. He's tied right now for the most in PBA history. So, Randy, you've been around the sport for decades. You see this list and you see Belmo about to jump Weber and Anthony. What does that say to you?
I mean, I got to quote Norm Duke, and Norm said that Jason Belmonte is the greatest bowler that's ever lived. And, I mean, coming from Norm Duke, it's pretty strong. There's huge arguments there, 2 different eras, you know, with Earl and Walter Ray and now Belmonte and what he's doing. But I got to tell you, this is Belmo's 11th season. He's about to win his 11th major.
And he's never been in trouble tonight.
Oh, he's just...
It's all single pin spares.
He's massacred the pocket every shot. He's left 3 soft 10s. He needs to convert here and just good count. Actually, I'm sorry. He needs to convert here. Jacob Buttriff can still shoot 227. With a spare here, Jason Belmonte would need to fill 20 in the 10th frame for 228. It's not over, but it's looking pretty good for Belmonte. Remember at the Players' Championship, he needed a couple hits in the 10th. He had already left that one ring 10 with the 7-pin, ends up a pocket 7-10, leaves it again in the 10th frame. That ultimately cost him that major.
Buttriff working on a double.
Must strike.
Making a triple.
Not that time.
It's 21.
Stares it down. Not without a fight. Not without a fight.
Again, 227 max for Jacob Buttriff. 238 max for Jason Belmonte. Big shot here. Biggest shot of his career, looking for his first major victory.
A major ham bone.
He's a gutsy kid. He's not afraid of anything. And he knows how to strike. And at least for the time being has figured out a way to get the 7-pin out on the left lane. One more gets him into the 220s.
He's got 2 more shots.
If he strikes out, he will force Belmonte to strike first ball in the 10th. We have a ball game.
Make him earn it!
You heard him say it, make him earn it. Count, very important now, Rob. If he strikes, it's a 1-pin match. If he doesn't strike, that gives Belmonte a little wiggle room. Last 5 in a row for Jacob Buttroff, written off after he whipped the 7-pin in the 6. Remember that
frame. 6 in a row to close. He's got a 227. He sits down, the legend steps up.
Belmonte strikes spare to win by 1. If he doesn't strike on this ball, if he goes 9 spare strike, we'll have a tie. Been here before.
A legendary strike.
Not one single emotion came out of that man's body after that shot. He needs a strike or a spare for history.
Aria, Hugo, back home in New South Wales. Stand up. Get ready to cheer on Dad. He's the greatest! He's the greatest! Take it in. You're watching history live on FS1. Kimberly, Aria, Hugo, Sylvie. Daddy did it. Daddy did good.
Amazing guy. Just an incredibly talented human being. Unbelievable. 11th career major in his 11th season.
Great game, Jacob.
Great game. On the PBA Tour.
Great week. Super proud. Thank you.
The first to win 3 titles
I don't know what to say, guys.
this year. 2 of them majors.
Josh Dale, I'm coming home with a World Championship trophy. I'm going to show you all in class, I promise. I love you, Ari, Hugo, Sylvie, Kimberly, Mum, Dad, Beck, James, Amila, and Samson. Thank you, Bill and Barbara Chrisman. Storm.
Your winning shot.
Second one in the 10th just absolutely shreds the rack.
Ozzy! Oi, oi, oi! Oi, oi, oi!
You guys should be down here. It is absolutely electrifying. And right now I'm joined by Tom Clark, the commissioner and CEO of the PBA, for the trophy presentation.
First of all, I just got to say that bowling is the greatest sport that has ever been invented. And these guys just proved it again. It's incredibly exciting. And this young man right here is proving week after week that he may be the greatest bowler that we've ever seen. And it's incredible. This was the greatest World Series that we've ever had. The Earl Anthony Trophy for the 2nd consecutive year. Jason Belmonte, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, Jason, I don't even know where to start with this. This crowd absolutely loves you. But you know what? You have made personal history in the past. You've hit milestones. You've shared with other people and other players. But today, you make history. You set the bar. 11 majors. What does that mean to you?
Very seldomly am I lost for words. Tonight is one of those moments where if I could express in English what is feeling right now inside, it wouldn't make any sense to anyone. I'm just so thrilled. I'm so honoured to pass two of the greatest players, if not the greatest players of all time, Earl and Pete Weber. It is truly an honour to have my name above those two players.
So you have officially set the bar. So what is next?
I really want to just enjoy this, but there's still this little voice in the back of my head that says, I'm not done. I want more. But I'm going to let myself just enjoy the moment right now and thank everybody here in Detroit. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Bill and Barbara Crispin from Storm. I've won all of my championships with Storm Bowling equipment, and I couldn't be more proud to have them associated with me.
I know that you love seeing all these people here rooting for you, but let's take a look at the monitor up here because if I'm not mistaken, we have some people in Australia watching you live. Oh, there they are!
Oh my God!
Put into words what it means to have your kids and your town, your hometown watching you right now make history.
It's very emotional. I miss them dearly. And I wish they would sit in front row. Thank you, Mrs. Tomedy from Nashdale, for hooking up the big screen. I love you guys very much. That's really all I can say. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Jason Belmonte, congratulations on making history, your 11th major win.
236 to 227. That's what history looks and sounds like. The best ever. Jason Belmonte. Detroit Rock City did you proud.
Thanks.
And he's got another major in his sights in just days.
Thank you, Detroit!
Oh, the new Motor City Madman. Jason Belmonte in the crowd, celebrating his historic 11th major title on the PBA Tour. And he heads to Vegas, and Randy, odds are he's going to be your favorite to win his 12th major.
Yeah, it's a good bet.
The Masters, Monday, April 1st, coming your way live on FS1. But tomorrow, more from the World Series of Bowling, and Jason Belmonte will be in action there as well. USA versus the world. Coverage begins 8 Eastern on FS1, also streaming on the Fox Sports app. The GOAT got number 11. It's been in the sights for years, and finally he passes legends and stands all alone atop the major list. To this season, 11 for his career. The GOAT has delivered again. Jason Belmonte wins his 11th major title of his career, 21st title of his career, 3rd of the campaign. History tonight in the D as Belmo gets number 11. Here, should one of these two drop a 300 game here in the title match, they will earn a $100 million bonus courtesy of Fox Sports and PBA. And I remind you, this man, EJ Tackett. Did I say $100 million? Hold on. The legal department just jumped on me. $1 million. The Tackett.
We got a nice start.
Yeah, no kidding. So Tackett, remember, was within one shot of perfection in his first game.
Yeah, he had 11 out of 12 strikes, and that was the match against Josh Blanchard. He had an open, and then that Key Brooklyn. But right now, he's going up against a man who's trying to make history.
Again, I want to stress, $1 million payday, not $100 million payday.
Do you know something we don't,
I
Rob?
do not, my friend. Here's Jason Belmonte, your #1 seed, chasing bowling immortality. Well, we're perfect so far. Here's your Columbia 300 fun fact. Randy, how many televised 300 games have there been in PBA history?
In PBA history, I want to say 26.
You are correct, but only 2 have occurred in title matches.
Bob Benoit was one, I believe.
Mike Albee was the second.
And Mike Albee was the other, yeah.
Yeah, all you had to do was read the graphic,
I want to say Bob Benoit was Grand Prairie, Texas against Mark Roth.
I'll take your word for that. But just listen how quiet this place gets, Randy.
Well,
everybody knows what's on the line.
The guy that gets all the prom dates is bowling now.
He didn't like it. But he gets the ball to fall. Oh, yeah. Good signs coming early for Belmo.
Well, Rob, he's chosen to go with with urethane and stay with the one he brought to the dance. And he had the most success with urethane this week. Remember, after round 1, he was in second, and then in round 2, he grabbed the lead and never looked back.
A win here for Tackett. He would become the 10th to win multiple TOC crowns. It would be his 3rd career major. There will be no 300 game for EJ. We'll take a look at the tail of the tape of our championship match. Tackett, just 26 years old. He's been on the Pro Tour for 7 years, has already won 12 titles. Just 2 of them majors.
An amazing record and stats for a young man that's only 26 years old. It
takes care of that spare. Well, he's well on his way to becoming one of the best. But Jason Belmonte is already there. 35 years old, 11 years on the tour. He's won 18 titles. Half of them have been majors.
You know, I think it begs to ask the question, what if Jason Belmonte lived in the States and actually bowled more events? How many titles would he have?
Again, a native of Orange, New South Wales, or Australia.
Dang it.
Left the 2.
Well, a really good shot on a strike in the second frame on the right lane for that massive ring and 10 for EJ, and then that shot there, it didn't seem like he cared for it. Maybe a little bit, a little bit faster, almost 1 mile an hour faster on that shot on the left, and that ball went light.
Tackett, top 15 in all 3 of the big categories this season: earnings, average, and PBA playoff points. As he takes a seat, strike, spare for Tackett, your 3 seed. We'd like to extend a warm welcome to Carissa Del Bene, the Director of Experimental Marketing over at Bolero Corporation. Made the venture from the New York City area to join us here outside of Akron today. Delightful lady that had time to speak with her before this event. There's Jason Belmonte. Strike, here he is in the 3rd.
Go ahead, say something. I have nothing. That 7 looked like it got hit by a taser. He's playing deeper than any other player that's used urethane today, and part of that's because the front part of the lane's broken down a bit, but the other part is because he's got the strongest strike ball on tour. But look at that 7. Did it get hit by lightning?
Somebody in the pit blow it over? 6th all-time meeting on television between these 2. Belmo has the slight advantage, but he's got a big advantage here as we open the 4th. He's up 21. That's a TOC ham bone.
And look at that reaction. Don't think for 1 minute when Fox and the PBA made the $1 million announcement that man right there didn't think that he wasn't going to win $1 million on this tour. I promise you, when he heard the news, he said, wow, I'm going to
Somebody's going to give me $1 million.
I'm going to win $1 million.
Tackett down 31. Started strong, and then it's been a pair of 9 spares. Back on the strike train.
Yeah, beautiful shot there by EJ on the right lane. Did you know that Chris Schenkel, the late great Chris Schenkel, one of the best announcers in the history?
One of, come on, the.
He's probably, okay.
He's the best.
The best ever. Is actually from EJ Tackett's hometown of Huntington, Indiana.
Player of the Year award named after Mr. Schenkel.
Yep.
Yeah, EJ brought that up to us. He thought that was a cool little nugget that not a lot of people had heard of.
Yeah.
No, it's better than the 710.
Was it last game or the game before you came at me with the iffy carry for EJ Tackett?
Last game. There you go.
Right in front of you.
Shot.
Ring 10 in the second, almost a 7-10 in the fifth.
Belmo steps back up. We had 4 300 games this week. Jason did not have one of them. Working off a ham bone as he gets set to close out the fifth.
The two best players on the tour going at it for a major with so much on the line. History, possible $1 million. All happening at Riviera.
Come on, 10-pin! Jerk. Right? Like, I'm teed off.
That was such a good shot for 9. I'll tell you what, he doesn't want this one over, with the exception of the result. Yeah, it was a good one.
Great shot. Great shot. There will be no $1 million bonus.
He still has 3 other events.
Correct.
And so do the rest of our players. But
he missed it. Wait a second.
Okay.
You can tell that perfect game, that $1 million bonus was in the house. It was in his brain on that shot.
Yeah, well, we've seen this all season long. That's the second one he's missed. Remember, it cost Jacob Buttriff in week 1.
The Rolf Holman doubles competition.
Yep. Cost Brad Miller.
Sean Rash 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
Dick Allen got up and went 2 strikes and 8 in the 10th frame to beat Sean Rash. Now let's see how Belmonte recovers from this.
That's how you recover, my friend. That's why he's one of the best in the biz ever. Ever.
It's only one shot, but you're right. It's a great recovery from the miss.
I mean, this is a transformational figure in the sport of bowling.
Agreed.
What he has done, what he has accomplished, how he brought the world into two-handed bowling. I remember you and I did his first telecast.
Yep.
And we're like, "What, Rob, we've got this crazy guy from another country that bowls with 2 hands. What are you talking about, Randy?"
Yeah.
Now, it's part of our common bowling lexicon.
Yeah, his tour rep, Tim Mack, actually discovered him in Australia when he was 16. Oh, no.
How about that? It almost popped back up and stood.
Yeah, it looked like it was trying to stand back up in the 9-pin spot. But yeah, Tim Mack discovered him in Australia, made a phone call back to the States and said, excuse me, sir. And he's one of the owners of one of our great manufacturers. He says, you got to see this kid from Australia. You've never seen anything like it. And that was kind of the inception.
It's like one of those baseball scouts going down to the Dominican or
exactly.
Cuba and like, I got this guy who can throw heat. You got to see him. We got to sign him. Tackett throws some heat at that one, so he gets a spare in the 6th. See how Tackett got here to the title match.
Max score 238 for Tackett, 267 for Belmonte. But Tackett's not out of this. He needs to strike here in the 7th and then get a string and put a little pressure on Jason Belmonte.
He's yet to string strikes together.
He likes it.
Messenger. Not enough juice in the mailbag.
Again, I think that's just poor carry. And his rev rate is so high. I mean, his rev rate is just underneath Belmonte's in terms of power. Just a pinch faster maybe that makes the ball delay, or excuse me, just a little bit slower on that shot, which should have gotten the ball to face the pocket a little bit more, but he's got almost as much power as Belmonte, and his carry at times is not good. And can I add something to what I just said? Belmonte did tell us yesterday, Rob, that he tried to make the ball very smooth off the end of the 40-foot Don Johnson oil pattern because it enabled his ball to strike more.
He also said his weakness on television is to go to his strength on the lanes, wanting to curve it too much.
How big is that break?
Oof.
Didn't quite let that go the way I wanted to.
That's an understatement, Belmont. But able to get the 7 to drop, so this becomes manageable.
He didn't like it out of his hand, and you could see that had a little bit more back-end reaction to it. He probably got on the side of it a little bit more. That's a good sign. We got one spare in the bag.
So again, Belmo trying to join an elite fraternity that only Earl Anthony and Pete Weber currently are in. Double-digit major victories. It took Earl Anthony 16 years, took PD Dub 35. It could take Belmo just a dozen years. Flashback to 2014, Allen Park, Michigan, the 2014 TOC, Belmo held off the big nasty Wes Malott, won it. Next year, Aussie back at it in Indianapolis, defeated E.J. Tackett, his opponent right now, for his 2nd consecutive TOC and his 7th major of his title. Since tacked on a couple more. Belmo used a re-rack. He's got one left.
You know, and what makes him so dangerous is with all that power, he can go to a urethane ball and go straighter when he has to and when he wants to.
Takes a seat, 20-pin lead. Tackett, I mean, Randy, he has got to start stringing strikes.
I think
it might be too late.
I think his only chance is to strike out. 227 max now. If he goes off the sheet, that means striking out from the 8th frame on.
God,
running out of time.
He's running out of time, and Belmo is running, sprinting towards history.
Now EJ's max score is 216. Belmonte can strike out for 247. Belmonte currently, though, is at 217. And that's just the simple math.
Tackett was the only player to win 3 PBA Tour titles last season.
Throw a good one here. Come on.
Still fighting. You got to love that spirit.
Absolutely.
You got to have that to be a champion, to be a major champion. EJ Tackett has that.
Told us yesterday how disappointed he was when he was unable to make a run here last year. You know, this venue means so much to the bowling community. The history that's been here, the drama that has unfolded inside and outside of these lanes as well. Go back to '91, the bomb threat that took place here.
Great shot. Still in it. Still has a chance. So much history. So much has gone down on this pair of lanes. 27 and 28 here at Riviera. And right now, Belmonte trying to add his name to that list. A strike here puts him in the 220s.
Only 2 people have won 3 TOCs. Jason Couch, Mike Durbin. Belmo, 2 frames away from joining another historical list. Back-to-back jacks.
He needs a mark. He needs a mark in the 10th frame. The only thing you got to avoid right here is that urethane ball hooking early and going through the nose.
Excuse me, Dave, can I take my second rewrite? Thank you.
Buying time, I love it. Composed himself. Some deep breaths.
He's just giving the house photographer more time to snap some pictures.
I love that list. Durbin and Couch. Couch, the only player to ever win it 3 consecutive times.
Right.
But Jason Belmonte, and I said it at the top of the show, I think when it's all said and done, I think he'll be the one player that had his legacy will be that he has won the most majors in the history of the PBA Tour. Got to spare it. Remember, he missed one of these already.
He's been the leader since round 2 of qualifying this week, averaged about 229. Came into the week leading the tour with the highest average. Hadn't won, though. Was in the doubles show. Crashed out early, but he's got a 30-pin lead here. Skinny jeans, he's got it!
Yes! Yes! Number 10! 10!
He needs 1 pin. Stay behind the foul line. Keep it on the lane.
Better just check the score. I'm pretty sure. Yep. Okay.
The leader of the 2-hand revolution is now on your Mount Rushmore professional bowling. 10 majors for Jason Belmonte.
Guess what? You are one of the best I've ever seen, man. You're incredible. You're incredible. Absolutely incredible, bro.
Aria, Hugo, Sylvie, I love you guys so much. Kimberly, Mum and Dad, Beck, I love you guys so much. I can't wait to get home and share this with you.
Soak it in, Belmo. PD Dub, Mr. Anthony, you have company. 10 majors, only 3 have done it, and they are all absolute legends. Jason Belmonte joining that elite fraternity, winning his 3rd TOC. He watches EJ Tackett close out his match. Kimberly Pressler standing by. We're going to hear from your winner in just a second.
I think EJ said it best, Rob.
Sure did.
When he congratulated Jason, he said, "Congratulations, Parge. You're one of the best I've ever seen."
He's the best of our generation. There is no debate. Belmo with Kimberly.
All right, Jason, you were very excited at the end of this match. You have hit 10 majors, and you have hit this milestone quicker than anyone else. Earl Anthony did it in 16, and everyone considers him to be the best in the world. You did it in 12. When you hear that, how does it register with you?
It's madness, Kimberly. It's madness. I'm so proud of myself. I sacrificed so much to be away from home. I worked so hard at my craft, and to have success be paid off because of that hard work, it means the world. I can't thank everybody here enough. All week, you guys have been incredible. Thank you so much.
Now, you've won your 10th major in this iconic building. What does that mean to you?
I really haven't had a chance to think about it. I mean, this gentleman right here started this. I'm able to do this because of people like you, Carmen. We are in debt to you. Thank you so much, and it's an honor to bowl in front of you.
Joining us right now.
PBA, great bowling. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you, Carmen.
Congratulations, Jason Belmonte, on your 10th major win.
Carmen Salvino, one of the founding members of the PBA and a Hall of Famer. Tom Clark, the CEO and commissioner of the PBA, is there as well. But Belmo raising the hardware, his 10th major.
Thank you, Storm Bowling Products. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Dave Sims. Thank you to my ball reps, Timmy, Jimmy, Doug Kent this week.
And you can join us next Sunday, the 17th, 1 Eastern, over on FS1. We'll be in Columbus, Ohio for the 2019 PBA Players Championship, also available on the Fox Sports app. Jason Belmonte joins Elite Company. All eyes are on you, my friend. 19 tour titles, 10 of them majors. Say hello to the Mount Rushmore of professional bowling. Jason Belmonte, you belong with the big boys up top.